Today for Math Boys and Girls, our objective once again is I can use data to create a line plot. Now remember that data is a collection of facts such as numbers, words, measurements, observations, or even just a description of things that you collect, and a line plot is a number line that shows this data. All right, so today you are going to be doing the reteaching, or I'm going to do the reteaching page with you, and then you're going to do the practice page on your own. But we're going to be working with fractions today, okay? So this is your reteaching page for today, and we're going to do this together. So length and line plots. Dorothy measured the lengths of the fingers on her left hand. She also measured the length of her thumb, and you can see right here that she has a picture of her hand, and she also has some fractions that tell the length. Okay, so this one is 2 inches. Her thumb is 2 inches. Her pointer finger is 2.5 inches. Her middle finger is 2 3/4 inches. Her ring finger is 2 1/4 inch, and her pinky is also 2 inches. So she has a picture of her hand. So this is the data that she collected about the length of her fingers and her thumb. So now she wants to make a line plot to show the measurements. The line plot can organize the data of her finger and thumb measurements. Remember the steps for making a line plot. Boys and girls, we've done a couple of line plots this week. So the first step is that you are going to draw a number line, okay? And your number line has to be choose a scale based on the data you collected. How did we organize our number line yesterday? All right, so I'm going to draw a number line here. And I think I remember that we started, and all number lines start on the left with the smallest measurement, and then as you go to the right, the numbers get bigger, okay? So the scale should show data values from least to greatest. Oh, there you go. Here it tells us that we need to start with the least and we need to go to the greatest. So her shortest finger is 2 inches. So I'm going to put 2 right here. And then her next finger, what's the next biggest fraction past 2? All right, I think 1/4, 2 1/4. Because 1/4 is a very small fraction. 2.5 is bigger, and 2 3/4 is even bigger than that. So I'm going to go, here we have 2 1/4. Okay, 2 1/2. And then finally 2 3/4. Okay, so how many fingers are 2 inches? I'm going to put 2 X's here for 2 inches because her thumb and her pinky are both 2 inches. And then 2 1/4. How many fingers does she have that is 2 1/4 inch? So I have 1. And how many fingers does she have that's 2.5 inches? 1. And how many fingers does she have that's 2 3/4 inches? 1. So that is our line plot for the lengths of her fingers and thumb. All right, so now they're going to ask you some questions about your line plot. So what numbers should Dorothy use as the scale of the line plot? So what did we use? We used 2, 2 1/4, we used 2 1/2, and we used 2 3/4. And that was the scale, starting with remember, the least to the greatest. So this is the least, and this is the greatest, okay? How many X's or data points should Dorothy have on the line plot? So she should have 5 X's. Why should she have 5 X's? Because she has 5 measurements or fingers, right? Okay. Number 3, complete this line plot to show Dorothy's data. Oh, we already did this up here. So boys and girls, we're just going to recreate it down here. So the smallest length was 2, and then we had 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and then 2 3/4. And if you remember fractions, that's least to greatest. And then she has 2 fingers that are 2 inches, one that's 2 1/4, one that's 2 1/2, and one that's 2 3/4. Okay? How long is Dorothy's shortest finger? I think her shortest finger is 2 inches. How long is her longest finger? Okay, and the longest finger is going to be this one, okay? Her longest finger is 2 3/4 inches, okay? And then which length is used more than once? 2 inches is used more than once because her thumb is 2 inches and her finger, pinky finger, is 2 inches. All right, boys and girls, so today on your practice page, you are going to be organizing data that includes fractions. So you're going to have to kind of go back in your head and think about that a little bit, okay? And if you need to draw a picture, I can see that this would be 2 whole pies, right? This would be 2 whole pies and then a quarter of another pie. And I can tell that this is bigger than this. And then 2 1/2 would be 2 whole pies and then a half of another one. So that's bigger than 2 1/4. And then 2 3/4 would be 2 pies. And then if you had this one cut into 4s, it would be 3 of those, okay? Now, these fractions aren't very hard today, but you are going to have to think about what you have learned about fractions, okay? And if you are confused, please rewatch this video. Thank you.